My name is Loris Crawford. I was born in Montego Bay, Jamaica, which is a tourist resort, which at that time was perhaps the most perhaps cosmopolitan, outward-looking region of the island. Well, Montego Bay is located on the northern coast of Jamaica, and definitely one of the earliest tourist destinations in the Caribbean. So I'd hazard a guess that perhaps about 70 to 80% of the economic activity in the city is actually based on tourism. I first came into the United States in 1977, and I went to graduate school, did my MBA at Michigan State for 2 years, and I went back to Jamaica, I think in 79, and migrated here permanently in 1980. Came to the United States simply because my mother lived here, and for her, coming here for her generation was definitely for a better life. For me, it was just an issue of having a need for new experiences and actually, to see more of the world. And one of the things that living in the United States has done, it has afforded me perhaps more opportunity to travel and to see the world than I perhaps would have had I been in Jamaica. And when we opened the gallery 25 years ago, it's on 13th Street between 2nd and 3rd, which is really the northern part of the village. It was a community which was racked by crack at that particular time. The neighborhood was primarily, I'd say, working class, lots of Puerto Ricans, Dominicans in the neighborhood. Since over that 22-year period, there have been a dramatic change in the physical look of the community with new construction, high-rise luxury condominiums, but also in terms of the people that actually live here. Okay, my typical day, I'll get up in the morning, maybe around 7. I teach, as I said, I'm a full-time professor at a local college, so I teach maybe 2.5 days. So the days that I teach, I'm up like at 7, I leave home like maybe about 8:15, and I'm at school until about maybe 2 days a week until 3 o'clock. Right? And typically after teaching, I may stay in the office for a while, grade papers, I may come into the city, come to the gallery. On the days that I don't teach, I'm usually here at the gallery from, say, 10 or 11 until 6 or 7. As I mentioned, we do the show Order of the Main. It's coming up in October, so now we're down to the wire. So what that means is that the days get longer. So instead of being here until 6 or 7, I may be here until 8 or 9. So my girlfriend and I, Burma Braham, we were university. We went to university in Jamaica together. So it happened that we both migrated to New York at the same time. And we, used to hang out, go to museums, go to art galleries, and trying to find black arts, and couldn't find any. And found out that despite the fact that New York is this big cosmopolitan melting pot metropolis, the work of black artists was not represented. And I always say, being crazy Jamaicans, we decided that we had to do something about it. So in 1985, we decided that we're going to open a gallery. We didn't really know much about galleries, except that we love art. We went around, looked at real estate all over the place. The East Village was the most affordable. And we started the gallery. The people who purchased art from us, especially in the early days, was national, people from across the U.S. Because when we opened the gallery, New York was no different from the rest of the country. There weren't too many galleries across the U.S., so we used to do a lot of mail orders. People would buy stuff through the mail. The majority of people who still buy black art are black people. We do have an increasing number of non-blacks who are buying African-American art, but it's still, the majority of the market is still, art is still sold to people of color. But I think what America offers, it offers opportunity for people who are willing to go after those opportunities. That for most people, nothing really comes easy. It doesn't come easy, and it does require preparation, it does require commitment, it does require effort. But if you apply those things, preparation, commitment, and effort, the opportunities that exist here doesn't exist anywhere. I just like to have more control over my life. And I think being an entrepreneur gives me that control. I can control my own destiny. It's a lot of risk, lots of trade-off, lots of sleepless nights, but it gives you control. The Savacou is a mythical bird. It's the warrior bird in the Carib Indian mythology. The Carib Indian is a group from which the Caribbean Sea is named and the region is named. They were one of the original people before the Spaniards came. Like, take a global picture of my life, I'd have to say the teaching and the students that I've produced, and my ability, the influence that I've had on so many lives. You know, students come back and they'll say, oh, Professor Crawford, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have done this. So I know that I've impacted and I've changed a lot of lives. So I came up with this idea of art fair that grouped together African, Caribbean, and Latin American artists. It's called Art of the Main. And the name of the Main suggests that these are artists whose work, in spite of the fact that they're highly accomplished, are underrepresented on Main Street, USA. And so what we wanted to do was to create a venue where we could bring these artists together and showcase their work. And we've been doing that for 4 years. We have about 50 exhibitors from across the United States, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, the Caribbean, Africa, that come to New York every fall. It's at the Puck Building on Columbus Day weekend, October 4th through 8th. And they come to New York and just have a wonderful experience. It's exciting, the fair is exciting, it's full of energy, it's very much captures the essence of the population that it represents. So anybody who want to come and check the show out is at the Puck Building, 295 Lafayette Street, right at the corner of Houston and New York, Houston and Lafayette in Soho, New York. And we have a website, artofthemain.com.